Hey guys, we're back today with another brand breakdown, Jesse. It's been a minute since we've done one of these, but today we felt like we had to cover this brand. We're big fans of the brand. We've been following them for a while, and that is Buxton, which is a luxury British sportswear brand based out of the UK, Jess. I suppose that's probably the best way to coin them.
Yeah, absolutely. The brand started with Cole himself, Cole Buxton. So he did name the brand after himself. And then it's been around for about 5 years. And a couple years in, Johnny Wilson came on board. And I think the Cole Buxton as we know it today is the post-Johnny Wilson era.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Cole was just finding his feet early days, which all clothing brands are. And Johnny came in with a photography background and a few other key assets that probably Cole was lacking in. And nowadays, we're looking at a real giant, stocked on end and just a real luxury powerhouse.
Yeah, it sounds like from hearing them talk and discuss, the journey, it sounds like Cole obviously started the brand and it was very much, out of his bedroom and real startup energy. Cole's love is in the products. So Cole is the designer of all the products, and similar to some of the guests that we've had on the podcast, very product-driven, product-first type of guy. And it sounds like Johnny was just the perfect blend of someone who's, maybe better at operations and people and really helped get the brand out there and take it to this, world stage that it's now on.
100%. Yeah, that they look like they complement each other amazingly. And this whole athletic essentialism, it's interesting. It's definitely something they've coined, I would say. And you look at brands like Represent, they definitely do something similar. It's now really popping up. I think post-COVID, there was that you were either loungewear at home or you were working out in your backyard or something. And those are the two sort of fits that you would jump between. But yeah, they have a pretty eclectic array of clothing. And we're looking at knitwear, leather bags, really nice jersey program, all like 100% heavyweight cotton blends, different cuts. Their puffer vests and jackets are awesome. We've actually purchased a few. They're not cheap though.
No, they're not.
Hence the luxury. And then, you got things like typical fleece hoods, like they're real staple pieces. They'd be French Terry, I imagine, being a real, luxury brand. And
yeah, I think they put high-end touches on regular staple types of items. Yeah. I feel like is what they do best. Through their bags, upgrading that to a nice leather, and even their puffer vests, which we actually purchased one of those, just to really see how they went about it from a structural standpoint, and just like the fabric and the feel, everything's just on point. So that's why they charge $400, $500 for a knit. They're charging anywhere from I think $150 to $200 for a t-shirt. So we're talking
Australian
pretty
dollars,
premium. That's Australian dollars, so pretty premium price points there. But obviously they've got that brand equity and the stories behind the brand that is the real driver, I think.
yeah, let's dive right into that, Jack. I mean, you look at a brand like Represent, and I think before we dive into Cole's story and the brand, we have to look at the other players in that space. You look at brands like Represent, and to me, they're for the masses. It's a bit of an NPC play, if you will. I think you could easily see them stocked at JD Sport. And don't get me wrong, I think Represent's paved a lot of the way for Cole Buxton to fall into. But Cole Buxton have fallen into it and found their lane, which is storytelling.
And I think that's really where they separate themselves from someone like Represent. So let's start with that brand and maybe authenticity that they've built.
Definitely. It's, you can't look past both the boys having tattoos of the brand on their body, and that's Cole Buxton's name and Johnny's got it on himself. Like, that says it all to me. And then, things like Johnny driving a Porsche with the detailing of the brand on it, so I think there's this association, this authenticity, Johnny's love for Porsches and Cole Buxton. That's where you just get that luxury British feel,
Yeah, that they encompass the brand. Like they are the brand, and they live it out with, what cars they're driving, with how they dress.
Their YouTube channel's a really good example.
The YouTube channel's cool. Yeah, they haven't put up too much really on there, but they've got a few long conversations, I suppose you would say, and pretty raw, just similar to us really, like raw, authentic. The boys are sitting in a room, it says all you need to know about them. They're just sitting there simply in a chair having a conversation.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a less is more approach, and you see that throughout a lot of their garments too. They're not trying to overplay the game. You know, you look at other brands, say, I think Represent's the clear comparison. And I think we have to say Represent's a pretty incredible brand, what they've done. They have really paved the way for brands like Cole Buxton to come in and tell their story. But I think it's pushing this elitist Rolls-Royce energy that I personally don't find very relatable.
Yeah, where I suppose Cole and Johnny just feel a bit more relatable. Like, you know, if you feel like you know them a bit better, and they're just being themselves at the end of the day, is what it comes across as anyway. So we don't know them personally, but that's what it looks like.
Yeah, and they have a very tight crew, you know, around them. From, you know, you just see their guy, they roll like 5-10 deep, you know, wherever they go, and that's also probably opens up the door to UVU.
Yep.
You know, that's their sort of, they're all connected within UVU. Similar thing, they all sort of have the tattoos and like they fully buy in. Again, I think there's a car detailing with the UVU logo on Johnny's Porsche. It's something they just go all in on.
Yeah.
And for the listener, it's essentially athletic wear.
Yeah. I love the band of brothers that they've built, for better or for worse in terms of terms, but it just always seems like they're all moving coherently with like-minded people, being their friends, and if you look and see what their friends are doing, they're all doing cool, interesting things themselves. So, you know, we speak a lot about who you surround yourself with, you know, is a big part of where you end up, and it sounds like Cole and Johnny, or it looks like they are really putting time and energy into that.
Yeah, I love the UVU play too from them, you know, from all different angles. So it's owned and operated by Addy Gillespie, and then I think the boys, Johnny and Cole, have come on in some capacity. We're obviously not sure. I don't think they've disclosed exactly what the agreement is, but I think it's you look at Cole Buxton and it's athletic essentialism. It's got this sport energy, and then you just tiptoe to the right, and now they're running marathons and they're showing that side of real, you know, I guess like gripping stuff.
Yeah. Which is them as well. Like those boys that looks like, you know, they like to stay fit, like be active. Sports obviously a big part of their life. So it makes sense that they would jump into something like a UVU. So again, I think it's a really good message and a good example of, you know, being yourself and living your brand. You know, Jesse and I, we could probably do a far better job of that at times. We're actually not wearing color plain right now, but I feel like Cole and Johnny would always be wearing the brand.
Yep.
Yeah. So
incredible brand and a lot to learn from it. I think, you know, in 5 short years where it is inspiring for lots of people like us and
it's huge
brands alike. So that's definitely up there with one of our top brands.
Yep. Cool. Guys, if you have another recommendation for a brand breakdown, let us know. We're going to continue to do more of these. So,
and that isn't an empty plug because we've never actually had anyone put a question in on the Spotify questions below. So we're going to leave one. Leave your brand breakdowns there. Be the first person to ever do it. Thanks, guys.